Hello everybody, it is time for my rolling project pan update for the month of October. My name is Jessica. If you are new here, just discovering me, welcome. I love doing project panning content. I do a rolling project pan, a pan that palette, pan those eyeshadows. I'm doing deck of panning. And I also just like to share and talk about what I spend and use up in makeup and try and reduce my spending throughout the year and be a more conscious beauty consumer. So if you're into that kind of stuff, definitely stay tuned and consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you stick around. But let's get right on into this video because I always love these updates. They're some of my favorite to film, and getting through an entire product of makeup or beauty or skincare or whatever it happens to be is just so satisfying, and is satisfying for all of you as well, obviously. So let's jump right on into this video and start off with these products that have been in my project since January of this year. The foundation I'm painting is the Clinique Even Better Clinical Foundation, and I had been painting this for the course of the entire year, and I was just positive that I would have this used up by this update. So when I first brought this into the project, it was weighing 138.6 grams. Last month, it was at 108.11 grams. I reached for it 27 times this month, making for 161 uses total. Today it weighs 101.36 grams, so I used 6.75 grams in the past month, and this foundation is still going strong. I have finally reached the point where I'm not able to pump out any more product, and I've had to open it up and reach in there with a little concealer brush to grab the remaining product on the sides and on the bottom. But the amount of product that is caked onto the sides and bottom of this bottle is quite generous, and I would not be surprised if what's remaining in this bottle after all those uses would still get me through the next month, or maybe just get me through. So this one is staying in. Unfortunately, I was really confident that this would be empty by this update, but there's just an unlimited amount of foundation in here. It is the foundation that never ends, but at least I really do love this foundation. It wears so nicely throughout the day. I never have to touch it up, except for like where I wear my sunglasses and I'm sweating or something like that. It does not break up. It does not fade. It looks great at the end of my work day, which is not easy. It's long with all those kids and teaching for the day. So the fact that this one lasts me the whole day and still looks beautiful and even into the evening is fabulous. And I'm not going to run out and repurchase it because I just want to try other things, but this is a really, really good foundation, and I'm going to enjoy this last month of using it. Hopefully it's just one more month, and hopefully I can roll it out for you by the next update. See if I can get you like a little peek of what's going on inside this bottle. It's so hard and dark in there, but it's not worth it for me to show any videos of this product because it just doesn't settle down. It really cakes to the side and you can't see through the bottle at all. So you don't get to see the satisfying progress with this foundation, but I do know that I have used 37.36 grams of product, or 0.24. Either way, it's over 37 grams, and that is just an incredible amount of foundation for something that's supposed to be 1 fluid ounce. Another never-ending product that's been with me since January is this little mini size blush that I've been trying to pan. This is from the Balm. It's the Alternative Rock line, and I thought the shade was Bare Minimum. I always thought that, but it says on both places Bare Minium. You can see it's Bare Minium there. You can see through all the blush that's there, Bare Minium. So I don't know if that's some kind of rock and roll reference. If you know what that's supposed to mean, let me know. But it's not Bare Minimum. I guess it's a play on that, of course, but I had the name wrong all this time. I thought it was just a typo. So here's what this blush was looking like when I first brought it into the project in January. It was weighing 13.14 grams, reaching for this steadily throughout the entire year. It's basically been the only blush that I've reached for, except for a few other blushes here and there and eyeshadows that I've used as blushes. And you can see that there is just not a lot of visual progress to be shown for this blush. Each month, I'm just more and more disappointed with the amount of progress I'm able to make, even though I am reaching for it religiously. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 12.63 grams. I reached for it 22 times in the past month, making for 184 uses total. And here's what it's looking like today. Today it's down to 12.55 grams. I've used 0.08 grams of product, and we are still without a pan on this blush. I just can't believe we are still here. As of last update, I didn't think I was gonna hit pan by this update, but I said maybe in 2 months I might get to a pan, and I'm now doubting if that's gonna happen either. If I can have just a glimmer of a pan on this by the end of the year, by January 1st, let's say, then I think that would be an accomplishment at this point. You definitely can see on the side of the pan that the product is going down. I'm wearing it down quite evenly. It's definitely lower on this side than on this side. but there is no pan. I feel like there's still quite a bit more product to go through before I even get close to that pan. I'm gonna keep working at it until January of next year, but by that point, I think I might have to call it a day, just give up on it and move on to other blushes in my collection. I have so many gorgeous blushes that I love, and it's one of my favorite products to reach for. I kind of collect it in the way I like to collect lipsticks, so just using one is kind of a travesty. It's pretty criminal, in my opinion, that I'm doing this to myself and the rest of my blushes. So next year I'm gonna have to rotate through my blushes and make up for it. I will not be panning a blush next year. Hold me to it. I always say that, and then I go back and change my mind and think that I can pan a blush. And this one has just beaten down my entire soul. Even though I really love the shade and I like the product, it's just very frustrating that we haven't gotten there yet. But we shall hopefully get there before the year's up. Please pray for me. Pray for me and for Bare Minimum. Okay, thank you. Next year-long product is from Cailyn. This is their Just Mineral Eye Polish in the shade Orchid. And I basically brought this into pan just as like a little science experiment, just because I had it and I wanted to use it and it had been neglected for so long. And it is a beautiful, beautiful product. So why not get a ton of use on it during the course of this year? This is another one I don't like to show visual progress for because it is minuscule. You really can't see anything. I've looked, believe me, but I have been tracking the weight on it, of course. So when I first brought this into the project, it was weighing 16.6 grams. Last month, it was down to 16.64 grams. I reached for it 16 times during the past month, making for 139 uses total. And today it's weighing 16.41 grams. So we are down 0.03 grams. And in total from when we started, we are just down 0.19 grams. So not even 0.2 grams yet, not even 2/10 of a tiny little gram. But you know, it's an eye pigment. What more could you expect? I basically just use this on my inner corner. It's actually a different inner corner highlight today, but that is how I reach for it. I put it all over the lid a few times and it's gorgeous all over the lid. I will insert a picture here of me wearing it all over the lid with like some warm browns in the crease, and I absolutely love it. It's kind of like a pink undertone, so you really can wear it with warm tones or cool tones in the crease or pinks in the crease. As you know, I've been wearing a lot of. So even though the progress is very slow going, I'm enjoying it, and it's just fun to see how much I'm able to use of this product even after over 100 uses. And I'm sure by the end of the year, we're going to be close to 200 uses. So that's the progress on this little beauty, and I will enjoy reaching for her throughout the rest of the year. Next product is the e.l.f. Halo Glow, and this has been in my project since May of this year. It was weighing 128.19 grams when I brought it into this project. Here is where the product was at last month. It was weighing 117.31 grams. I reached for this 25 times in the past month, making for 100 uses total, and here is where it is at today. Today it's weighing 114.45 grams. I've used 2.86 grams of product in the past month, and I'm getting very close to the bottom here. I'm happy with the size of the jump I was able to make. I think if I'm able to keep that pace up, I should have this finished before the year is up, definitely by the end of December, beginning of January. And I have really been enjoying reaching for this product. I mix this product in with my foundation to give it that slight glow and sheer out that very full coverage foundation just the tiniest bit. And I really liked it for that, but I also love wearing it by itself. I just don't often do that these days because I am panning that foundation. I'm debating if I'm gonna repurchase this. I just don't think it's something I really need in my collection. I can use a luminous sunscreen or moisturizer or just a highlighter, or just buy a foundation that has that luminous glow to it to get this effect. And I typically like more coverage than what this provides, although that might shift someday. You know, if this was on sale, if I could get a good price for it, I probably would repurchase it. I still have some time to think about it, enjoy the remainder of this product, and make that call in the new year. But for now, this one is staying in. I'm very hopeful to have it finished pretty soon. Next is the powder I am panning. This is the Kosas Cloud Set powder in the shade Feathery. Here's what this product was looking like in June when I first brought it into the project. It was weighing 75.16 grams. I didn't reach for it a lot the first month. Here's what it was looking like in July. And then I really started going to town with it. I made a much bigger jump in August, and then I really started reaching for it a ton during the past month. So here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 72.91 grams. I reached for it 26 more times in the past month, making for 69 uses total. total, and here's what it's looking like today. Today it's down to 71.5 grams. I've used 1.41 grams in the past month, and you can see how big that pan is getting. I'm very satisfied with the amount of progress I've been able to make on this powder. Even the sides of the powder are quite low, and we're really working away at that dome, and I am flying through this powder. I absolutely love this powder. It's my all over setting powder. I use a different powder for my under eye, but then this is going all over my cheeks and nose and forehead, you know, all the other areas of my face. That's not my under eye. And I just think it is so light, blurring. It just gives the perfect amount of matte without being too matte. It kind of has like almost a satin finish, and I just love it so much. I would repurchase this, even though the packaging is faulty and a little bit cheap with that plastic packaging. Even my back hinge is starting to crack and break. Fingers crossed it doesn't while I'm still working on this. It sits in my drawer with a little rubber band around it to keep it closed for now, but it's definitely a precarious situation here. But I love it all the same, and I wish they would just tweak the packaging just a little bit to make it a foolproof product. I also wish it had a mirror. Like, what's up with that? It's kind of lame. Maybe it's just like more sustainable not to have a mirror, which I'm all for. I have plenty of mirrors, but sometimes I just kind of wish there was one there. But no complaints other than that. I absolutely love this powder. I'm loving panning it, and I think I should definitely have this finished in the next couple months. I am panning this lip liner from Colourpop. This is in the shade Dohee. So my goal for this is not to use it up entirely. I just want to use this lip liner at least 50 times during the course of this project. Here's what it was looking like when I first brought it into the project in June. It was weighing 6.85 grams. I've been reaching for this pretty slowly, just a few uses each month, but I've been trying to amp up my uses a lot more in the past couple months to get this item rolled out, since we have kind of left the season of bright coral lip liners at this point. Here's what it was looking like last month. This was after 28 uses in the project. It was weighing 6.44 grams. I reached for it 15 more times in the past month, making for 43 uses total. And here's what Dohee is looking like today. It went from 6.08 grams to 5.87 grams, so I used 0.21 grams of product. I could have sharpened it for this update, but I just knew that I could use it a couple more times without sharpening it. I'm not one to sharpen just because. I really try and get the uses that I can before I waste that product in a sharpener. And I only have 7 more uses to go on this one. I am very excited. I know I'll be able to roll this out by the next update. This has been basically my everyday shade. If I'm feeling a more warm toned lip shade, this is what I go in to line my lips, and then I cover it with a more nude lipstick, which you will see soon, just to kind of tone it down a little bit. There it is in the swatch. You can see I'm wearing it on my lips, but it's not as bright and vibrant as you see in the swatch because I'm covering it with that nude lipstick. So 7 more uses on this one. I thought I would have more product used up than I do after all of these uses, 43 uses, but I just really haven't been sharpening it the way that I have needed to with other liners, and it's not falling apart the way other Colourpop lip liners have on me. So I'm really able to use more of the product without wasting it. So I guess that's a good thing. I actually really do love this shade. Perfect for the summertime, but we are out of summer, even though it was literally 105 degrees today, but it is still the fall season, and I still want to wear fall colors, and I'll be very happy when I'm done with that bright coral pink next month after those 7 more uses. Here's my drawing of Dohee. You can see where it was when I first brought it in July, and that little black portion there is what I was able to use up in those past, 15 uses. Next lip item is another one that I am not using up completely. I have just a usage goal on this one, and that is the NARS lip crayon in the shade Let's Go Crazy. This was a birthday gift from Sephora many moons ago, and it is a bright, hot pink, which I love wearing, but I have so many hot pinks in my collection, I wanted to get some good use on one this year, instead of just letting it sit around like it tends to do in my collection. My goal is to reach for this 15 times. In the first month, I reached for it 7 times, then 1 more time for 8, and this month I reached for it 3 additional times, making for 11 uses total. And here's what this little lip crayon is looking like today. I don't think you're going to see much of a difference from last month to this month. And I still have 4 more uses to go on this lip crayon, and I'm really hoping I'm able to do that this month. I want to roll this out by the next update because it, again, is just not a very fall shade. But anytime I have a weekend, I'm going out, this is the lip color that I'm reaching for to get that use on it, because it's obviously not really a shade that I want to wear to work on the regular or ever. I've also been taking the weight on this. It was 7.33 grams when I first brought it into the project in July. Last month it was weighing 6.53 grams, and this month it's down to 6.3 grams. And here's the drawing for Let's Go Crazy, and I was not able to draw any new lines, so this little difference you see is from the previous month. I'm surprised that after 3 uses, I wasn't able to draw a new line, but I guess I didn't sharpen it at any point. But that just means that hopefully by next month, after those 4 additional uses, I will have a nice little new section to draw and a shorter lip crayon at the end of the day. And the last lip product that's in this project is from KVD Beauty. This is their Studded Lip Cream in the shade Cathedral. This was in my project at the beginning of the year, or like the end of last year into beginning of this year, but I rolled it out because I just wanted to focus on other things. And I promised to bring it back in, and she is back. She is back in as of last month. There is a swatch of Cathedral. It is such a beautiful nude, and I cannot wait to dive into this shade in the next couple months. I think it's a beautiful fall and winter nude for me, and this will be my pocket lipstick proceeding once I kind of finish up the other one that is very close to being finished, which we will get to. I don't want to spoil anything. Here's what this lipstick was looking like last month. It was weighing 25 grams. I only reached for this lipstick 4 times in the past month because I'm focusing so much on another lipstick. Today it's weighing 24.9 grams. I used 0.1 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And I don't think you'll see much of a difference from that month to this month. I was able to draw just the tiniest sliver of a new line on my little notebook, so at least there's that. But I just know that once I finish this next lipstick that I'm about to talk about, this is going to be my go-to focus lipstick, and I'm hoping I'm able to fly through it in the months of October, November, even December, and have this finished by the end of the year. That might be a reach, but if not, early into next year, and I'm going to enjoy every single use of it. It has such a nice smell. It kind of smells like vanilla or like cookies or something like that, and it has such a nice formula that really, really lasts on the lips, and it just has great packaging as well that does not open up in my purse, which absolutely drives me crazy. So many lipsticks do that, and it drives me crazy, and this one does not. So loving painting this and very excited to keep reaching for it. And here is that little sliver I was able to draw from last month to this month after those 4 uses. So I lied. This is actually the last lipstick in my project pan. This one is from Covergirl. It's the shade Sultry Sienna, and my goal for this one is to use it up, and this has been the one I've been focusing on during the past month. So here's what it was looking like when I first brought it into the project last month. It was weighing 21.11 grams. I reached for this 17 times. That's 17 days of wearing it, and here's what it's looking like today. Today it weighs 20.37 grams. I used 0.74 grams of product. And I know you're going to see a big jump from last month to this month. It is less than half of what it was when I first brought it in last month. And it's a nice balmy lipstick that has a nice sheen to it. So it's really easy to wear, pop on over anything else, pair with other lipsticks, reapply throughout the day. And it's what I have on today over Dohee. So really like it. It actually kind of has more of a cool tone when you swatch it. I don't know. I'm not good at like naming shades, honestly. I'm very vague when I talk about shades and different colors and all that. How would you describe this? It's kind of a neutral, actually, I might say. Kind of pinky tone, like a pinky nude. Anyways, I love it. It's been really easy to wear, and I know that I will have this finished by next month. That's going to be my goal for this one. If I reach for it at least 15 more days, I think I should be able to get there, and then I can really focus in on that other lipstick, the KVD shade. So very happy about this one. This one that I've wanted to pan in my collection for a while. It's one of my older nudes, and it was on my 2024 plan to pan list. So that is going to be a nice little box to check once I finish this one up. Just last month, I brought in this Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish color corrector in the shade Medium 2, and my goal for this is to use it up. Here's what it was looking like when I first brought it into the project. It was weighing 22.04 grams. I only reached for this 4 times this month. Today it weighs 21.9 grams. So I've used 0.14 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today after those 4 uses. And I'm hoping that those 4 uses will show you just a slight difference in the size of that pan from last month to this month. And I'm hoping to really amp up my uses on this in the upcoming months. If I'm going to finish it by the end of the year, I'm definitely going to have to. I've just been focusing so much on my foundation, and using this color corrector with that high coverage foundation is kind of overkill. It's kind of a waste of the product in my opinion, just because it's not necessary. So once I have that foundation finished, I'm going to really rely on this to cover up my hyperpigmentation, my purple spots under my eye that are here and there, sometimes more, sometimes less, and that will give me better progress to share with you by the next update. But this is another product that I just don't know has a place in my collection anymore, at least not now in my life. It's just kind of extraneous. If I have a good concealer, that basically does the same job. And for the style of makeup that I like to wear, a little color corrector like this just doesn't always fit the bill or fit into my routine in a way that is really meaningful. So that's my thoughts on this now. Those thoughts might change as I grow and change and my life changes. But for now, I'm happy that I am getting use on this and using it up before it goes bad because, you know, cream products don't last forever and this is an expensive one, and I'll just be happy that it's getting good use. And I probably will keep this little component afterwards because it's just so cute and they're very, very useful. And the last product that I have been panning in this project is from Ciate. I always have like a little sample size or travel size item in this project just to remind myself to use them. Otherwise, they often get forgotten about. This is their Vitamin Boost Plumping Primer, and it's just a little deluxe size sample or like a travel size. And this was actually sent to me from Sarah Rose Beauty here on YouTube, and I had never even heard of this primer before, but I absolutely fell in love. It was so easy. I flew through this little tube of primer, and I actually looked forward to putting this on my skin in the morning. It made my skin feel so plumped, so hydrated, so young, and I would think about purchasing the full size of this product. That is how much I loved it. Maybe Ciate is having a sale. If you ever know of a sale on Ciate's website, you let me know because I would definitely consider bringing this into my collection. When I brought this in last month, it was weighing 12.66 grams. I reached for it 17 times, and today it is empty. It weighs 4.44 grams, so I used 8.22 grams, and I'm kind of sad that it's gone, but I really enjoyed the experience. Thank you so much to Sarah for sending this to me and for letting me find a new product that I absolutely love, because I never would have thought to try this otherwise. So that one is rolling out. It's our only rollout for the month. So yay, small little celebration here for this girl. And that means we have one new product to roll in. Well, I know I said I always like to have a travel size or sample size item in this project, but I'm actually kind of running low on those types of things in my collection. I don't think I have any at all. I looked into my little basket and I couldn't find anything that really fit the bill to bring into this project. So instead, I decided to go for something that's kind of a gimme, since a travel size item is usually pretty much a gimme, and really push myself to finish something before the year is up, and that is my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Now, this is kind of a cheat because this is already my everyday concealer. I don't really need this project to get me to reach for this every single day, but I did just bring in a new concealer. I purchased one from the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. It was a great price, so I went ahead and picked it up because I knew this one was getting low and I might as well get a nice one for half the price. And I just had a little itch for buying something that I needed to scratch. So that just motivates me to use this one that much further. And I figured, since I am so close to finishing up my foundation, and I hope to finish this foundation before the month is up, that I can use this one as a concealer and as a foundation once this one is empty, and maybe get it used up a little bit faster than I normally would have otherwise. So that is what I'm going to bring in. I think if I reach for it as a foundation during the next month or two, I should have this one empty pretty darn fast. It's right now pretty much like right about there in the bottle. And of course, you know, there's a lot of product up here stuck on the sides, but when I see it sitting, this is where it's collecting. So we are pretty darn close to finishing this one up. And I would be very happy to share an empty concealer with all of you, like maybe a little Christmas present from me to you. Today, this concealer is weighing 26.88 grams, and I'm excited to see how it wears as a foundation all over coverage. So that is it. That is all for my rolling project pan update for the month of October. I hope you enjoyed it. I always love filming these videos for you, so thank you for being here and supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot to me. Before you click off, go ahead and give this video a quick thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I love hearing from you. For me, it's time to sign off. I'm sending my love out to you wherever you are in the world that this video finds you, and I hope you're doing well, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. But until then, take care. Bye.